Hope you guys had a lovely June. I am sitting in a little cottage from the early 1900s, maybe even earlier than that, here in Virginia, visiting family, and Zach and I just rented this out for a quick little getaway. I've got like a little makeshift area today to just run through a few different items that have meant so much to me this past month, made a big difference in my life. I've got like different categories, so of course I'm going to start with fashion first. In a nutshell, I would say that my biggest fashion inspiration and really purchases have been around puff sleeves this season. There's just something so magical about it. I have been loving a few different tops that have puff sleeves that you guys have seen in several different videos. One of them that I'm wearing today is maybe a little bit different, maybe a take on a puff sleeve. If I wear them kind of like up like that, instead of this off the shoulder look, then it is more of a traditional puff sleeve. But here I just love the look of this where it's off the shoulder and still has that little bit of a poof here. This material in particular, this one is from Nanine, and it's got this beautiful like raw silk fabric that keeps me warm where I want to stay warm, but of course it's also showing skin, so I'm staying cool where I don't necessarily need to feel like too warm. Like raw silk can hold in a lot of heat. There's also been a few other brands that have embraced this puff sleeve trend. Reformation, just all of their dresses have this element to it, and I've kind of shared some of these pieces with you over this past, month, 2 months. So I love this beautiful dress that I have that has puff sleeves from Reformation. I can link you guys to everything that I mentioned down in the description below, and link you guys to videos where I've talked about some of these elements too. So Reformation has them. Petite Studio released some with their collection from Alyssa in the City, and Alyssa's pieces have several puff sleeves. It's just an absolute dream. It gives you maybe a little bit more proportion up top if that's where you want to add some weight or like bulk to your upper half. I think that it absolutely makes you look more like slim and tall if you are working with more of a pear shaped like I have. I did a video on that too if you guys want to see that. So they're absolutely everywhere. The next category that I wanted to talk about today was fitness. I've really been trying to work out nearly every day. When I started this year, I was like, I'm gonna work out every single day, and that was a challenge that I had. And I feel like I'm almost hitting that, but there's definitely days where I don't feel like doing that at all, or life gets in the way, and that's fine. I just kind of move with it and try to work out the next day. But some of my equipment that I've been using and clothing that I've been kind of investing in fitness area, I doubled down on my love for Girlfriend Collective. They have just the best leggings and bra. The Paloma bra is my favorite because it doesn't really dig into anything, and you know how sometimes a sports bra, it will be really tight on your ribs and you feel like you can't really breathe very well? I don't like that at all. And so their bra has a little bit more elasticity there. It's not anything too tight. It's not something that's going to dig into your skin at all. And it's just perfectly made with the leggings as well. The leggings are really flattering. They're my favorite that I've ever worn. They're not too tight. In fact, I love that they're a little bit loose around the knee. That's where I find that a lot of the leggings that I wear is really tight, like around the thigh and knee area. And theirs are kind of made for curves and just for every single type of body style they cater to. And I've just been loving them. I brought a few with me here on vacation because I plan to run some trails. I also loved these sweat towels that Zach and I picked up. Because we have been working out more, we wanted to get some sweat towels that were super absorbent, that wouldn't necessarily hold in a lot of like bacteria and stuff. And so we found some sweat towels that are microfiber, and you can just feel like when you are completely dripping with sweat, you can barely touch it on your skin and you're just dry. It also made me excited to work out more, and so yeah, I definitely will link you guys down to that. I found them on Amazon and they are so lovely. I believe they come in different colors too. For beauty, I want to run through a few of the products that I've been using lately. I first started using Freck just maybe a couple weeks ago, but one of the things that has made a big difference already is this little tiny, I don't even know how to describe it, it's just a freckle dotter. It's just this little tiny brush that has some really just what feels like an ink in it. When you think about maybe just this like sienna colored ink. That's really how I would describe what this is. Obviously it's makeup. What's really cool with it is that you can dot little tiny freckles all over where you want them. I like to put them right around the bridge of my nose. I have painted freckles on people in oil paintings before, so I do know my way around this, but I think it's pretty foolproof as well because you can make just a few scattered dots and then take your finger. When it's on your finger, you can press it around to different parts of your nose or wherever you want freckles. One of the major complaints about this online is how small it is for the price, but I personally think that it goes on forever. Like, you're only putting on minuscule little dots, and a lot of the packaging that they otherwise would have made with this would have been more wasteful. So I don't mind that it comes in a small package. I just keep this inside my makeup bag so that I don't lose it. Another product from Freck that I've been trying out is this cactus eye jelly with plant collagen. And of course you can see I just got it, so I am still in the process of using it. I will keep you guys updated, but I did tell immediate results on a lot of the things that it said it would do, like reducing dark circles, and it says to put it on twice a day so that you are completely regenerating and moisturizing that area. Because I smile a lot, like I'm always getting little tiny, inset lines right there, and I do want to manage that and like take care of my skin. I'm still gonna smile as much as I want to, but I do want to just kind of heal that area and make sure that I'm taking care of my eye area, since that's like really where people look the most when they're talking to you, is your eyes. I love eye creams. I'm very passionate about that actually, and I really just like this one a lot so far, but I will keep you posted on a more like in-depth review after I've tried it for a few more weeks. I picked up just a few pieces of makeup from Sephora that I've repurchased, and some of them are new. So this one was a new one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury that everybody was talking about. It's the Pillow Talk lip liner, and it's supposed to look the most natural. Whenever I look into lip liners, I'm like, I don't want something that's too fake, that's too like lined, but adding a little bit of lip liner has made a huge difference this month in making me feel like my lips were fuller, and also just keeping the lipstick that I put on over top of it in place. It's not very sharp right now, to be honest, but it is just a regular pencil that you do have to sharpen. I can link you guys down below for that. Charlotte Tilbury, any product I've tried from her, she just has the most beautiful colors. So you guys know I love to have a cat eye. That's usually how I do my eye makeup, and because it is hot outside, one thing that I have been using a lot is eyeshadow primer. I have tried a few different kinds out of it, and again, just not very happy with a lot of the ones that I've tried, but this one was absolutely excellent. It's the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in the shade Eden. They had a sample kit that I tried with like 4 different shades in it, and this one was by far my favorite, this one called Eden, because it didn't cake at all, and it actually creates this beautiful light, like it's almost like a white cream that you can put on your eyes. Obviously eyeshadow primers are meant to keep your shadow in place and not crease, especially with this humidity. So this has been an absolute lifesaver, and I even like to dot it on wherever I want like extra coverage too, as almost like a concealer, but it is very pale, like a very pale shade. So if you have much more tan skin, you probably couldn't use it as a concealer. But because I have like really pale skin, especially around my eyes, then I actually want something that is a white, bright, light kind of cream. So that's what I've been using for that. And then just real quick, I restocked my concealer. This concealer is absolutely amazing. It's from Benefit, and it's called their Boing Hydrating Concealer. And I think that a lot of times whenever I need concealer, I want it to have some moisture there too, whether it's, some little spot I want to cover up, or just under my eyes. And then I like to put on just a little touch of powder on top of it to set it. And so that hydration will just make the powder stick really beautifully on top. So those are some of my beauty items. One of my goals for maybe the next year, I would like to move more into the natural realm of makeup and like clean beauty and clean skincare. It's definitely not something that I've perfected yet, especially because I want my makeup to look really, really good. I want my skincare to be effective. And so I am new to the game with the natural beauty. Really just dipped my toe into the waters. Detox Market actually sent me a little starter kit of skincare, and it was just the loveliest kit. I generally make a principle of not talking about gifted or sponsored stuff in favorites at all, because I want to be sure that everything feels authentic and is perceived with an honest heart. And so when I talk about gifted items on a favorites video, it has to be really, really good. And also Detox Market that I'm talking about today, they didn't require me to say anything or post anything. They just sent this to me and were like, hey, have a nice day. A lot of times that can happen and I still just don't love the product, but there were several out of the kit that they sent me that I'm like, wow, this has been so absolutely effective. So they sent me a whole bunch, but my absolute favorites were these. Okay, so this is called a Here and There balm. This time of year, I think that a heavy cream or moisturizer doesn't always make sense when you're going to be out in like really warm weather. What I do need moisturizer for my body, especially this time of year, is when I put on some self-tanner. I don't want to have like dry patches or anything. So this is called a Here and There balm, and that's for putting it on where you really, really need moisture, where you might have dryness on your elbows or your knees or whatever. I think that it's so cool because when you open it up, the first time that I tried it, I was like, why is it green? And then when I put it on, it just looks green. And so what it says to do is to actually take some and like get some out of there and then warm it up in your hand. And so then you've got this beautiful cream on your hands, which is nice too. And then you can put it on any dry patches like your elbows, rub it into your hands some more. I love to do that. And it just smells kind of like a health food store. When you walk in, you can smell all of that green that's in there. It smells so good. Another product that they sent me was this ginseng passion fruit mask. It's called Zahara. It's an enzyme mask. And when I first put it on, I was like, okay, this is just like a jelly. It feels kind of like a maybe honey, like watered down honey or something. Put that on my skin. It says only 3 to 5 minutes, and I swear don't go longer than that, because my face was just like beet red after for a few minutes. And then once my skin like calmed down after that, it just was beautiful. Zach was like, you look like you just had a facial. And I was like, man, this is amazing. So absolutely loved that one. I made him try it too. And we both had just glorious skin afterwards. This was a Native Atlas Zahara Rewind Tonic. So it's really just witch hazel extract and a lot of really natural things like thyme, neem, ooh, it just got a little dark, willow bark, like all of these really natural ingredients that are just known for like calming and toning. And so I use this as a toner at night. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention today for what they gave me was this charcoal deodorant. I am such a fan of natural deodorant. I do not like to put aluminum underneath my armpits. And so I usually have been using Tom's, but I did try this one. And I would say that it is like very pasty, and it does show that there's charcoal. It looks a little bit gray at first, so when you blend it in, it looks more clear. I would say because there is more of a paste and it's tugging, if you happen to be au naturel and have hair, then it might actually like pull and not feel comfortable. Speaking of deodorant, I did get some for Zach when I went to Patty Wax. I definitely wasn't going into the Patty Wax store for the first time to buy deodorant, but I did love to get him these couple of things from there because they just released a bunch of like colognes and perfumes there. And so we picked up this one, which is called Bourbon Cedar, and it's just the most lovely like Old Spice type of scent. So we got him the deodorant and then also this cologne. And yeah, it just smells absolutely so hot. And I loved walking into the Patio Wax store too, because I've only ever shopped online from them, and now living in Nashville, there's several different locations. So amazing. Everything smells so good. Got to smell a lot of different scents that I haven't tried yet or bought yet. And that brings me to my next category, which is entertainment and books. One thing that my friend gave me is this little book cover that she makes, and it's reversible, so it has more of like a cloth pattern inside it. And it's just been really helpful for right now I'm traveling and I don't want my book to get all bent out of shape. So I've just really loved being able to have a little book bag cover. And she makes little purses too. And right now I brought with me this book from 1899. It's called A Revolutionary Maid. So far it's just about this girl that is living in the times of 1776, which is absolutely perfect for July 4th, which is right now for my trip that I'm on. The other books that I finished in June though, Outlander book 6. So I'm officially moving on to book 7 now. Super excited to have so many of the revelations of this beautiful series. I'm trying to pace myself because I know that there's more books that Diana's writing, and I don't want to come to the end and then have to wait like 5 more years. Otherwise, I've been reading a book called High Performance Habits, and I'm only halfway through it, but I'm slowly reading through it and putting into practice a lot of the things that they talk about in that book. So that's been really great. I can link you guys to where I've discussed that book a little bit more in detail. The final thing that I wanted to talk about is The Spanish Princess. Oh my gosh, on Netflix. Or no, it wasn't Netflix, it was on Stars. So cool. A lot of times when you read books that are by Philippa Gregory, then there's all of this drama that has been around real characters in mostly like royalty in England. But this one's about Henry VIII as a small kid. I guess he's more like a teenager at this age. And the girl that he's going to marry first, which is the Spanish princess. And just watching that inside of a beautiful series. Stars is absolutely so good at these historical fiction series. Absolutely love it. Fell in love with the characters, and you will too. And that's pretty much it for my favorites of June. I feel like that was so much, but hopefully there's some little nuggets out of this that make your life better. And if you try any of these or have tried them, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Call me crazy, but it makes sense.